Well, good morning to everybody. My name is Charles Richard, and we're going to do a real quick live stream here. And the reason why I'm doing this live stream is because I think that a lot of you folks out there actually, because of the the scenario and the COVID-19 and all the stuff that's going on, a lot of you have actually asked me about live streaming and about what's the best way to do live streaming and some of the tools that are better for live streaming so that you can get a better quality stream for your students if you're doing it for a classroom or for if you have a particular channel that you just want to improve, or if you just want to start something either on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, all these platforms, social media platforms have been really flourishing quite a bit right now with this COVID-19 and this actual new trend, if we want to call it that, is going around where everybody just wants to stream. Now, unfortunately, some of the stuff is like really hard to find, because everybody is going to the stores and they're actually just trying to get it, and it's just not available, and a perfect example was one of the items that I actually had to have shipped from North Carolina because there was nowhere here in the Orlando area that could be found, and the places up in New York, places like B&H, Adorama, places like K&H, which is in another location, and they're not up in New York, they just didn't have it, and so I actually went all over until I finally found it because I think it is imperative. All right, it's very imperative and very important that the first thing that we do get is real good and clean audio. So I'm gonna talk about a little bit about these live streams right now. In this particular situation right now here at this stream, I'm using Ecamm. Okay, I did do a video. I don't like Ecamm. But I am actually using Ecamm because Ecamm just released a brand new version of Ecamm that is supposed to change everything, and I just downloaded. I have not installed it, so this will be my last stream with the old version of Ecamm, and once I finish this particular stream, I will be installing the new and improved Ecamm, and I'll bring you the update as to what I think about it. And this is supposed to have like a whole lot of different features. Some of them look good, but I'm still, audio. Guys, audio is so important. If your audio doesn't sound good, people just are going to go elsewhere. They're going to go somewhere else to really, get another channel or get whatever they want if they're searching or whatever it is that they're looking for. Audio is the biggest turn off for people to really click away from your channel. So if your audio doesn't sound good, it doesn't matter how good your video is, and it really doesn't matter how well your content is presented. It's just a no-no. All right, so with that said, this particular stream is going to be about audio. What is the best thing for audio? And I am going to bring a couple of items, onto the table. As you guys know, I do a lot of stuff with Fuji cameras because I believe that Fuji camera is an underrated underdog, camera system that I guess is, Fuji doesn't really do a whole lot of advertising, not like Canon, Nikon, Sony, but the truth of the matter, there is really no other color science that matches the Fuji cameras, and that's just the bottom line. You gotta learn, what your limitations are, and you gotta learn to work around it. And as you know, I've got the XT1, I got the XT2, I got the XT3, and I've got the XT4. In this particular scenario today, I am going to show you the XT2, which is a very underrated camera, because if you are just starting out, you don't want to go out and spend on an XT4 $1,800 for an XT4 just to do live stream. You don't need to do that. All right, the XT2 has the capability to do a clean HDMI output, and it also has, with the new software that came out, and there's also another software that is not made by Fuji that also allows you to do actually a live streaming, where you just plug the USB straight into your computer. You don't need no capture card. You don't need nothing. But see, these things, YouTube are not, they're not really telling you about these things. So everybody just goes out and looks at, oh, well, I got to get a capture card. I got to get an HDMI capture card. And before you know it, you got to spend, $100 and some odd dollars for, I'm not going to name names, because I'm not trying to knock anybody down. That's not the intention of this. The intention of me is to give you other solutions that are available to be able to do the stuff that you really, really want to do. But first of all, I want to give you a couple of disclaimers. The first disclaimer is none of this stuff is paid. I'm not being paid by nobody. All of this has been bought with my own money, and everything that you see here, I'm not biased. Everything that I'm going to tell you, I'm going to tell you the good part, okay, about it, and why I chose it. Because if you don't know a little bit of my background, in my younger years, I have been an audio engineer. I've had recording studios. I've had, hundreds of records that I have produced as an engineer. So I'm going to give you a engineer's aspect, advice as far as that part is concerned, and at the same time a very simplistic explanation, because not everybody knows really about the audio stuff, and I'm not trying to get too overly scientific and that sort of stuff, and bring you a whole bunch of mumbo jumbo where you just don't understand what we're talking about. But the first thing that I want to ask you is, if you are here, we've got a couple of people right now, is, please subscribe. You see that button right there? Just subscribe, so that way, you can be posted, and you guys stay, pretty much up to date as far as what's happening and what's going on. So let's get on with the show. I've got a great show ahead of us, and first thing we're going to talk about is I'm going to show you, let me kind of show you what we've got here. Here we go. All right, we've got the Fuji. This is my Fuji XT2, as you can see right here. And this Fuji XT2 is wonderful. I got to tell you, this really, really and truly is a wonderful camera. It's one of the best buys, I think, for the money that anybody can actually get right now, because the fact is that the camera itself, you can pick it up used right now for little money. All right, like this particular body here, I picked up probably for around $600, maybe $700, okay, something like that. So that's just the body without the lens. And as you can see, I've got the Rode, okay, I've got the Rode Wireless Go. And I'm going to talk about the Rode Wireless Go, because I think that if you want good audio, good audio is, I think, honestly, I think that's really where you should really focus on first, if you're going to focus as far as equipment is concerned. The XT2 is very nice to have an XT2 and everything, but you can do your videos with an iPhone, or you can do your videos with an Android phone. The problem is your audio. Your audio is what captivates people to actually, want to listen some more, want to really, hear you out, want to really, I want to know what's going, what this is about, and I think that is very, very important, for us as content creators to really, get something, interesting and going. So anyways, okay, let me show you. This is the Rode. You can see it right here. It is really, really small. Okay, how small is it? Well, let me see if I've got I think I do. All right. Let me kind of like I'll give you a little, example. Okay. Here's a quarter. All right. Look at this quarter. Okay. Look at the quarter and look at the size of that little road. Okay. Now this one here, there's two parts to it. Okay, and they both look identically the same. All right. The one of them is actually the receiver, and one is the transmitter. Now, if you look, very carefully, you see it has a built-in microphone. All right, which is really, really nice for it to have. Right, but it's a good microphone. Don't get me wrong, but it's not the best microphone. All right, as a sound engineer, I can tell you this: is it good enough, or is it good quality to be able to do a transmission? Absolutely, absolutely. All right. So what you've got here, all right, is you can actually clip this right here, right on you, and then you can transmit. But you see, if you put it on your shirt, it's big, right? It's kind of big, and so even if you put it on the inside, it's still kind of big and still kind of bulky. So what I've done, okay, you can hook up on this particular Rode wireless, all right, that you see here. It has, if you can see right there, okay, it has a plug, all right, for a wired microphone. In other words, you can put a lavalier microphone to it. Now, there are many lavalier microphones, and you can get one that some that are for like $3, and you can get some that are really go a little bit above and beyond, right? So what I did, okay, for in my particular case, and again because I come from an engineering background, is I went out and not only did I get this, but I also got me a lavalier microphone, which is the one that you see right here. Let me see if I can put it so you can see it. Okay, here we go. All right, I don't know if you can see that. Okay, this is a Sennheiser lavalier microphone. Yes, Sennheiser is a little bit on the pricier side, but I picked this one up very, very inexpensively. They've run about, I want to say about $100 and some just for this particular lavalier mic. But because I don't know if you can see that, you can see the screen, how well designed it is. You see the screen right there? Okay, the clarity of this mic is like from night and day. And you can see that it has the plug-in for it. It has like a little, if on some particular transceivers, you can actually take that and you can screw that in so it doesn't get loose while you're broadcasting. And so what we want to do is we take this, okay, right here. Let me see if I can get this to where, okay, there we go. I'm trying to work with this camera here, all right, and you want to just plug it in right there, okay. And now you've got a lavalier microphone hooked up to your transmitter. And so your transmitter that you see here, and I'm sorry that I'm blocking myself, okay, the transmitter that you see right here, you can actually, just, put it in your pocket somewhere. And now only this little thing here is what's going to be up here, and people are not going to notice it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and it's going to be a lot better, and the sound makes a huge difference. It makes a very big difference in the sound quality. Because you are using something that really has real good quality. It's a quality product. All right. So that is the Sennheiser that you see right there. So let me show you. All right. Okay. So this is the camera. All right here. So now with these Rodes, if you see, this is the transmitter that you see right here. All right. This is the transmitter. Okay. And then this here, okay, is the receiver. So what you do is you mount it on the camera, and then I'm going to show you the best way to do it on the camera. You mount it right on the shoe of the camera, the shoe for the flash. And what you want to do is, the trick about getting good audio is, as you know, all right, and well, I don't know if you know or not, okay, but let me throw something out there for you, so a real fact. A lot of the cameras, the preamps inside the cameras, especially the Canons, all right? I want to reiterate this, especially the Canons, have terrible, okay, audio preamps inside the camera. And so the preamps inside the camera, what happens is it starts creating like a hiss sound, when there's no audio, and that hiss sound is really the noise level that the camera, the preamp in the camera, is actually producing. And the reason why you hear that hiss is because when you're using the microphone from the camera, most people, what they do is they raise the volume from the camera, and when you raise the volume from the camera, it also increases the volume of the hiss. Well, that's natural, right? That's normal. Okay, well, we know that. Okay, so with that said, okay, what you want to do, all right, is you want to try to bring the volume of the camera a little bit lower, but you don't want to bring it too low, because then you will get a lack of hot signal, if we want to put it that way. All right, I think that's the best way that we can put it. And the lack of hot signal is not good for your camera neither. So, all right, what we want to do is we want to use the concept and the theory that sound engineers use when we're going to go out and do a concert, for example. Right, when we do a concert and we need to really crank up those amplifiers so that you can hear that good bottom end, and so you can hear a good crisp high end. What we do is we raise the amps, we raise it to 3/4 of the way. In other words, we raise it to 75%. So the same concept we want to use with the Rode microphone. The Rode microphone has a volume control, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to raise my transmitter, which is this one here. All right, I'm going to raise the volume of it about 75%. And so after I do that, all right, then I'm going to go back into the settings of the camera, and I am going to lower it as much as I can so it doesn't clip, and at the same time I have a signal that is hot enough, that gives me a little hot level, right, so that I can get a nice clean crisp audio. Now, in some cameras you might have to do a couple of tests, just to make sure, because some cameras, especially the Canon ones, you're gonna have to raise your volume because the preamps are so terrible. You might have to I'm sorry, not raise, you might have to lower the preamps on your Canon a little bit lower, because the hiss coming from those preamps of those cameras are more noticeable than cameras like the Fuji, for example, or the Sonys, or the Nikons, or the Panasonics. That's what's bad about the Canon. And I don't know, maybe with this new R5 that's coming out, maybe they have fixed this problem, but they're notorious for that issue and that problem. So if you have like a M50 or a 90, what is it? A 90D, or any of those older cameras, even an 80D, a 60D, or whatever they are, you're still going to have that issue, and you're going to notice those issues. So why did I get the Rode? Well, I got the Rode for a couple of reasons. Right. The first reason is because although there might be stuff that is better, like the Sennheiser and other stuff out there, the truth of the matter is that the Sennheiser microphones are only sold in professional music stores or professional locations. This Rode Wireless Go, when this pandemic thing is over, right, you can find it even at Best Buy. All right, so the ability for you to find stuff, if you need to get it replaced, you need to get it repaired, you need to it's important, because when you're doing stuff that is commercial, when you're doing stuff where you just don't want to have any sort of downtime, you want to be able to get the stuff, your content, recorded and brought up, and just produce as a content creator. You don't want to have any sort of downtime. With that said, when you have your cameras all set up and all pretty much adjusted to certain levels, the Rode is, because it's so easy to get anywhere, if it breaks down, you just go to a Best Buy, or you go to I think even some Walmarts even have it. You just go in there, buy another one, just pop it in, and boom, that's it. You're ready to go. You don't have to worry about ordering it and that sort of stuff. Right now you do, because right now this is a hot item, and this item is almost impossible to get anywhere. But if you're able to get it, definitely. Now, reason number two that I got this is very important. Okay, I believe reason number two that I got this is because one of the things that's important when you're doing, remote run and gun, all right, like a lot of us do, is very simple. All right, you want the microphone, right, to last. You don't want it to die halfway, because you ran out of battery, or that sort of stuff, right? So the mic, this particular Rode Wireless Go, will actually last you the whole day. It'll actually last you the whole day for the microphone to really, if you're gonna do the run and gun type thing, it's just something that you don't have to worry about. Guys, you don't have to. The least you have to worry about, the better you are off, and the better the production, and you concentrate more on your content creation than have to think about and worry about whether or not your system is working or not. So these are that's important. That I think that's like a really, really important fact right there. Something that a lot of people just kind of like don't realize. All right, so that's another scenario. Now, with this microphone, with this particular microphone, I'm going to show you here. If you do not want to get the where is it? Here we go. If you do not want to get the lavalier microphone, this microphone also comes with a whole bunch of nice little stuff. Like right here, I'm going to put it here. It's got a little. I want to. They're called dead cats. Okay, is what they're called. So it's a little muffle thing. It just snaps right there, and you can just snap it here. Let me see if I can snap it. Well, anyways, when it snaps, okay, you're gonna end up having a microphone that looks kind of like this. All right, and so this will actually slow down the wind. So if you're outdoors or outside, it'll slow down the wind. So you won't get all that wind noise, and it also helps with the popping and the S's and all of that. It helps quite a bit with this. I tell you guys, this is probably the best buy that you can get right now for audio. Definitely, pick one of these up. If you can't afford it, then there's other things that you can do for your live stream. If you cannot afford $200, this costs $200, right? This is what this costs. Now, you've got a lot of hoarders out there, and they're just jacking the price up because of this COVID-19 scenario. And some of these places are now charging almost $300 for something like this, because you can't find it. It's really hard to find. But if you can pick one of these up, this is the best solution for a problem that most people have with their audio. Now, if you want to go a little bit something a step lower, something which is not as expensive, and I will show you, because I have this one here also. Let me pull it out, out of my bag. Just give me a second. All right, here we go. All right, here is. I take that back. I moved it to the other side. Just give me 1 second. And I'll take this out because I got my bag up here. I'm on a remote location, so everything that I've got here is all remote. All right, so here we go. All right, I've got another solution for you guys, and this is an alternative, and it's only like $60. $60. It's good. It's a good. It's a very nice solution to be able to get a better audio. Now, the one that I'm talking about is the Video Micro. This is the Video Micro. This is the Rode Video Micro. Now, the difference in the quality of sound and the usage is two different scenarios. This is a microphone that you can mount on top of your camera, and it comes with a windscreen. Here's it's called your dead cat. You just plug it in here, or let's see if I can get it in here. There you go. You plug it in here. All right, so it comes with a little dead cat, as you can see right here. You put it back out here. All right, so that's your mic, and then your microphone gets mounted. Let me, what's it say? It gets mounted. It has a little, pretty much. This is what goes on your shoe. your camera, and then you just plug it in there. It's simple. It has no controls. That's the problem with this microphone. It has no controls, so you really can't adjust the gain. I'm sorry about that. You really can't adjust the gain as well as with the Rode, because the Rode gives you the ability to adjust the gain in your transmitter. All right, and I'm sorry, on your receiver. All right, on your receiver. On this one, you have to adjust the gain only on your camera. Now, it's a good mic because it's it's what we call a hot mic. So it gives you a hot signal, but you still are just regulating the sound by your controls on your camera only. All right. So now these are mics that I highly recommend. And I wouldn't recommend anything if I don't use it. All right. Now, are there other microphones out there? Yes, there are. Okay, but it all comes down to what I've been trying to tell you guys. Right. This mic is really it's a Rode mic. You can pick it up anywhere. You'll probably hear other mics like a Boya or there's a few of them. There's a few of them out there. And they're all about the same price. Maybe some of them might be $10 less, $20 less. But here's the truth: the $10 less, the $10 that you're gonna save, will eventually, give you issues when it comes to reliability. And if your mic breaks down, you can't get it, another one right away exactly the same. You have to go and get something else. These Rode mics, you can get them anywhere. You can get these at Best Buy, you can get them at Walmart, you can get them at your local music store. Again, because of the COVID-19, these microphones are also hard to get. Right, so I'm just giving you some alternatives, right, so that your stream can have a very solid sound, because I want you guys to to look good. If you look good and if you sound good, especially if you sound good, people are just gonna love your stream, and they're gonna want to keep actually wanting to see more of your content that you create. So with that said, definitely, this particular setup here is probably the one that I recommend the most. Now, if you do not have, all right, if you are just going to stream from your laptop and you want to go a USB, just straight with USB, you can use what I'm using. I am using a very simple setup, and I'll show it to you right here. My simple setup is this right here. It's the Meteor mic. It is the Meteor mic, very simple. It only runs for about $60, but it is a very hot, very clear microphone. You're listening to it, it's good. It's solid. You don't need to buy, $300, $400, $600 microphones. Don't get all caught up in all this YouTube stuff that people are trying to tell you out there, because what's important is that you increase your audio to where it sounds good, and then the next thing that's important is your content. Your content will always be very important. Audio first, content, and right next to content, and then your video. Your video, if you want to do your transmission or your broadcast with with a nice camera, or you want to use your iPhone, or you want to use your Note or an Android phone, I want to say, it doesn't matter, right? There's hundreds of people, and I can name you some of them, they're great. Like a perfect example is this guy named Van Life, I think is what his channel goes by. Look him up, Van Life. He's got a old English bulldog, and I really love to see his content, because he is so creative. He has this bulldog named Cruz, and he goes around in a van, just recording stuff, and his content creation is so nice. And you look at everything and the editing that he does, and you look at his production, and you would think that he has thousands and thousands of dollars worth of equipment, and he doesn't. Everything that he's using, the only thing that he's using to do his production work is his iPhone. He has an iPhone 10. That is how he's doing his production. Go take a look at it. It's called Van Life. Okay, Van Life is what it's called. Awesome guy. All right, really, really upscale. You know, I can't say nothing bad about him because all his content is good. All right, it's good because what makes it good is that he draws my attention and he keeps me looking at his content. I don't want to turn off, his channel and go somewhere else. All right, but my point is that you don't need thousands of dollars to be able to get a good production. All right, you don't need that. You just need to be able to know what you have and use what you have to the best of ability, and a little bit of money. Audio, definitely. Audio is definitely 100% something that you do need because it's very important. And content, and you're good to go. You're pretty good to go. So, anyways, I hope that you guys, like this very first stream. Actually talking about something that maybe you guys might have been waiting for a while. The Rode is called the Rode Wireless Go. The Rode Wireless Go is what it's called. You can use it straight out of the box, all right, just like it comes, and you will definitely improve the audio tremendously. Or you can plug a lavalier like the one that I've got up here. All right, this lavalier is a wonderful lavalier that you see right there. All right, this is a Sennheiser. They also you can get a Shure lavalier. Those Shures are very, very good. Also, I chose the Sennheiser because I like Sennheiser. So you plug it in. You got your little lavalier, and the quality of broadcast will just bring the whole production level to sound and feel more professional. Anyways, this is Charles Richard, guys. Again, I want to thank you. I want to thank you so much for joining me today, and please subscribe. And as you know, tomorrow Saturday, we're going to start doing these live streams for Fuji and stuff. Saturday, 10 o'clock Eastern time. So come join me here at this particular channel, and we're going to bring you more stuff like this, but mostly based on the Fuji cameras. And as you can see, I've got my Fuji X-T2. And my Fuji X-T2 is working wonders. I have it set up as a street shooter, and it's working wonders. And I'm going to bring you all these pictures and all these great stuff that I can do with this X-T2. And I'm going to compare it to the X-T4, and I'm going to show you why the X-T2 is still an awesome choice in 2020 to be able to get your content up and make you a better creator. So anyways, guys, thank you so much, and I hope I see you tomorrow.